Hello, everybody. My name is Jenny Holloway, and I am the founder and CEO of Fashion Enter. And you are very, very welcome to our podcast today, which is about waste. And this is fantastic timing from the point of view that we're very proud of the team here at Fashion Enter, as we were awarded the King's Award for Sustainability last week. And that as sort of the result of 20 years of hard work. And we have two amazing guest speakers here today. One is Anastasia, who will introduce herself, and secondly, Paul, who has been a learner of ours in the past and has gone on to great things in the world of consultancy. Anastasia, would you just like to say hello, please, and just introduce yourself?
Hello, hello. I'm very thrilled that I have the chance to be here with Jenny, and I thank her for her continuous courage to always try and drive this progress above and do something about that. I really appreciate it, and thank you, Jenny.
Not at all. And Paul, have you joined us online? Are you going to say hello?
Maybe he
No.
is not yet. He will
No,
come
no.
in.
Okay, that's fine. Hopefully, Paul will be joining us. Okay, so this is a very intimate seminar. We do appreciate questions being asked. We have left some time at the bottom. And just to explain, Anastasia and I are in the same building. I will do my PowerPoint first, and I shall go down and sit alongside Anastasia. So we'll be there for any questions you may ask.
What's
So,
wrong?
so let's
Oh,
start. Oh, I think somebody needs to mute if they could be so kind. Okay, so very quickly, this is what we do. As a company, Fashion Enter, we support all young brands and we work all the way through from idea generation to actual merchandising and production. And I don't want to talk too much about what we do because I'd rather get on to the importance of waste. And this is what we want to talk about. So I think there is so much talk about sustainability. I'm almost bored of talking about it. And what we really want to do today, this is about your business, your brand, and what you can do for your brand. So, waste is a horrendous problem, and it's all kinds of. Oh, hello, Leanne. Nice to see you.
Hi, nice to see you.
And I think that there are sort of these three levels of waste that we talk about, which Anastasia will go into more detail. But we just have to think about the environment, the planet. And when you see pictures such as this picture here and the next picture, it is a disgrace that we have got all these garments that are throwaway fashion. They are not breaking down. We have lots of polyester, and it is an environmental disaster. So we just have to look at what we can do. So I'm not going to talk about that too much because I'm just going to talk about this from Fashion Enter's perspective. And this is something that you can all talk about for your brands as well. So you can talk about repurpose and repair, reprocessing, recycle, reduce the amount of waste, reduce the amount of production, and we can re-commercialize previous stock. So if we just look at these in a little bit more detail, with repurpose, we've done various programs, and one of them actually has been to work with the Rolling Stones. So over the years, Rolling Stones had lots of merchandise that they didn't sell. They have had many tours, and there's always going to be oddments. No one will ever sell out 100% of anything. So instead of these going to more to the waste mounting, we repurposed. And that means we took the t-shirts, we cut them into three, we cut them into four. So the bottom left-hand corner, you can see four designs there. Facing you, you can see three pieces. We recut the work and we repurposed it. And it was a great success for the Rolling Stones, which they then sold at a premium. So their traditional t-shirts were being sold for £30. They sold these at £65 at Carnaby Street. So, just because you're going to repurpose some of your garments that may not sell, don't think it has to be at a cheaper price. Secondly, repair. So we have a great partnership with United Repair Centre that is from Amsterdam, and they've just actually expanded into Paris. And we're working with brands such as Patagonia, Lululemon, Rafa, Mammut, etc. And actually, as a small brand, it is something that is great for you to put onto your website, and you can talk about that you offer a repair service. And it's really important that the consumer has confidence in you as well as your product. Reprocessing. Now we've done work for people like Never Fully Dressed, also for Jacoby, which is part of the M Brown group, where we've had trousers that were too long and then we've cut those down into shape. Again, the reprocessing will stop those garments contributing to waste. Recycling, we're constantly looking of new ways of taking textiles and recycling them. We've got a project at the moment actually where we're working with humans, and we're trying to end period poverty that's taking place in Leicester. We're taking the textile waste, cutting that down, and we're creating reusable period pads, and we're giving them out for free in the schools of Leicester. Right, we're constantly trying to think of these new angles. Here is another example whereby we've worked with fab materials. They have taken waste from here. We don't have the piece of board here. And they've actually remade it into like a MDA board that is then glossed over, and then it's used for kitchens, etc. Reduce. This is going to be the area that Anastasia is really going to be talking about today. And like she not only knows about the problem, but she has a solution to address the problem. So this is a very important part. But I can remember being a senior buyer at the Arcadia Group and even being at Marks and Spencer's. And I cannot believe that we would cater for 40% markdown. So we would buy 2,000 dozen of a particular line, knowing that 40% was going to be reduced onto markdown. Isn't that ridiculous? No, we should be making to demand. We should be making smaller quantities. We should be aiming for a higher exit price, not an intake margin, but an exit margin. And then re-commercialize. You can take, in fact, one of the garments that we had to reprocess for the M Brown group was a long sleeve shirt that we made into a short sleeve shirt. So we had a sleeve and a cuff that we opened out, and we actually made it into skirts. We actually opened up the sleeve and then we made that into a completely new garment. So that re-commercializing is really important as well. So I'm just going to mention the extended producer responsibility because it is coming our way, 2027. You have to start thinking about what are you going to put on your labels for your waste? What are we going to do about end of life? And this also relates to the digital product passport. We won't talk about that. It's the digital product passport, which is also coming our way as well. So at this point, that's just 10 minutes I want to do to introduce about waste. I'm going to come downstairs now, and I'm going to sit alongside Anastasia, who is going to actually continue with her presentation. So thank you very much, and we're ready for any questions. Okay, Anastasia, over to you.
Yes, I'm ready. Will I be able to share my screen?
Yeah, you should be able to share. It's on share.
Okay.
Let me end my presentation.
Yeah.
Does it stop sharing? There. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So
now like that, right? They're not nice.
Oh, it doesn't go. That's something now. So we are talking about the waste, and thank you very much for presenting all this. The question now here is, are the sustainability efforts enough? And obviously you see that they have not been enough, although great efforts have been made. And we are going to see if there is a workable solution. And we are trying to analyze the reasons behind waste and create an understanding and a will for change for the design practices, because we focus on the design practices and we believe that's where everything starts. Let's be honest here and true. Fast fashion is the moving power of the jobs in fashion nowadays. So, but through a vicious circle of greed, ignorance, it has created the monster of waste we are experiencing almost out of our doorsteps. So the main victims are what we can see here. The consumer follows price cuts, design process follow the illusion of quicker, cheaper approaches, and education follows jobs, which leads to lost skills, and lost skills impact on design worsening. So the result is overall quality aesthetics drop, lack of consumer satisfaction, because you can see here something we are all experiencing. We are aware of the problem that 7 jeans of the same size, not one of them the same as the other.
Actually, that's quite interesting timing, isn't it? Because Marks and Spencer's have recently been criticised.
Yeah,
for
almost everybody now. So let me try to change this. So, okay, we can see design info mistakes even when they are already made as a sample or a production. So there is an urgent need of understanding of the problem, Jenny and everybody else, to avoid running around our tails. So what is waste? Waste is created and waste is planned before the consumer. So there's no consumer responsibility and before manufacturing either. So where is the responsibility? Most times the way it works is that there is a style idea watering down in the design process. There is a watering down of style details in the size accuracy and efficiency, in the pattern fit and style interpretation, a simplification process. So
it's worth the wait, everybody, okay? It's worth the wait. This is the expert in fit here.
Yeah, so it's a lot. Let me take this down. Let me make sure that we share and you can see that. Okay, this is the screen share. Are we okay now? Thank you very much for your patience. So these are the mistakes that we witnessed, and we said that
so you can see how basic that diagram is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just no information about.
And I think.
There, it's
Okay. Now, we showed that the companies, the charts companies use, we showed also this information, which is not what a designer or a technical person would like to make it easy for them. And we also had an example here, instructions to a Chinese manufacturer, how to correct something they didn't like. But they only expressed their wish. They didn't give technical information that could be used on a structured pattern and rectify it immediately. So what we see here,
So just on this, as a manufacturer, we do have these problems repeatedly. And that's an English person speaking to an English person without having any communication barriers. But you really need to be specific about the measurements, and actually call it from the shoulder neck point to the shoulder, what the underarm is going to be. But to say half the amount of ruching, you'd have to give the extended and the relaxed measurement. So you've actually got both of those there to be able to work it. Otherwise, in manufacturing, if something's going to go wrong, it will go wrong. And it's about being explicit.
Absolutely. So the victims here are inclusivity in size. I mean, sizes have been lost completely. In style, in shape fit, in assembly quality details, in aesthetics and product quality. And what we said is that the original design starts with an image. Then there is a Babylonian process of details communication, which starts from a blurred image, lack of comprehension, and leads to a sample that does not satisfy and has to be repeated, unfortunately, several times. So the waste resources are built into the system because of the watering down process, because of all this lack of information. And we showed this example, which is, actually some lecturers of a well-known university, they tried it with their students with one of these 3D software, and they were trying to make a garment for a space suit. And they couldn't manage to design it, draw it, and make it wearable, go through the head, the simple need that you need to put it on. So a disappointment. And then there is this one, which is you need to turn this beautiful coat to make it. You need to make the technical design, you need to make the pattern, and you need to assemble it. First mistake here, when they make it. I mean, for those that would know, when you have a wrap garment of any kind, then the center of the body passes on the center of the body between the buttons. Here, the buttons, the first buttons that would be on the bust, they are on the center of the body. So, and where is the flare and where is anything? So there is no realization of the idea. That's the
just before you leave that, you can also see, look at the fabrication, right? Look at the fabric on the left-hand side. You have to make sure that the fabric is fit for the purpose intended. There's no way you're going to be able to get that.
Yes, let's excuse me. Let's say it's a block initially to see where it goes. But the thing is that it has major technical. Where's the waste? Where is the width that you need to have it, all this? I'll show you later. So we come to this point where we have is this the future of fashion? That's what Vogue asks in 2019 already. And have we reconciled with this idea that creation, fashion is for reconciling? It's not a solution, because of course you cannot recycle perpetually and do it. That doesn't happen. It's not possible. So we are all aware of this thing that happens on High Street, and we wear badly cut garments. And what do we need to do about that? Watering down designs seeming too complex, students and designers weigh out. Nowadays, the decisive factor is mostly lack of technical skills, and particularly design communication skills, which leads to oversimplification. Yes, but design is more about problem solving than just drawing or rendering beautiful things. Even the Parthenon wouldn't be the Parthenon if those who made it didn't know how to give it on the maps anyway, the separate and different directions for each one. So you need to have technical skills. You can't make anything if you don't, or you can't draw anything or design anything if you don't have technical skills. So design is the process analysis that translates creation and makes it possible.
And I do think, right, having been in the industry for, I hate to say, but nearly 40 years, I do find that a lot of designers that coming out of expensive colleges do not have the technical skills. Exactly. They may have great conceptual awareness using Illustrator, Clothes 3D, etc. But actually what you need is the skills for the patterns, isn't it? Yeah. It is so, so important.
What happens nowadays is the idea remains the idea. It's not the product at the end.
It's a concept.
Again. So there is lack of a lingua franca, a common language that is understandable for designers and for technical people. That leads to, that is the lack to lead to communication. So to go and see how this has resulted in the problem that we have nowadays. What do you observe on the consumer part? There is, and that was noted in 2018 from Anna Young at the Milan Fashion Week. Aesthetic fatigue, quality and fit evaluation, expecting emotional durability in relation to size and fit, longing for aesthetic satisfaction, which they don't get.
I think if anything, it's got worse, hasn't it?
Exactly, since then already.
I mean, how many times do you hear people say, I just can't find anything on the high street?
Absolutely. Yes, that's absolutely true. So the problem here is that this is the first part of waste, and it is completely unaccounted for. And
so this is the waste of samples, isn't it? Designing.
It's the waste, yes, it's the waste of samples, exactly.
Yeah.
That before even going to manufacturing, before even going, of course, to the store and the consumer, there is great waste, because there is the other thing also, that you can't make samples unless you buy for each fabric that you try a certain amount of fabric. I think you know better, of course, that there is necessity to try it on specific fabrics, that you can only buy up to 30 meters for every sample, something like that. You can't get 2 meters for a sample. Maybe you can, but in most cases, in the States, I know that you need to buy 30 meters for each sample. If you make 10 times this in a different color or a different fabric, because you didn't like the first one, you can imagine what waste even before, and it's not accounted for.
I do think actually you bring a good point up. We have some of our designers come and they ask for a toile to be made. So a toile is invariably calico, but actually there's no point in doing a calico sample if it's going to be in silk. Like, it's a completely waste of time. So you have to, what we try to do is use polyester.
The process is for both, Jenny. You do originally a calico or a toile to make sure that the idea is there. You're not completely off like the coat that you show.
We would use a polyester though. We would never use calico for silk.
Yeah. And then you do it on the real fabric.
Correct,
Yeah, so which is necessary. So the reason this is unaccounted for is because it is part of the design studio and not of manufacturing.
Yeah, that's exactly why our fashion studio is right next door to our factory. So we can constantly liaise, can we do that construction?
You may be doing it, but standardly it doesn't happen.
I agree, The two areas, making a sample.
There may be the design studio in Bulgaria, let's say, or in Turkey. And exchange with, they have been telling me that, I mean, companies in Bulgaria, in Turkey, and other countries, that they have DHL working all the time, with tumbles coming and going. You are lucky because you have everything. You are a different case. But that's not what happens standardly.
And then they start blaming each other, don't they? Well, the sample was wrong. And I say, well, the manufacturer didn't make it right.
The designer says you didn't understand me.
There he goes.
So this waste needs to become. So what happens with the industry then? The industry, there is uncertainty of processes as it goes. So that leads to mismanagement of resources and fear of market loss, of course. And that leads to panic reactions when dealing with the issue. So the focus shift here. This is before going to focus it, anyway, it doesn't matter. That was the first level of waste. And then we have, and the second level is in manufacturing, which is mostly the result of bad or incomplete descriptions of an inadequate model of design process that leads to errors, of course, and then again and again. However, waste in manufacturing are more documented. And the quantity of unsold items, either at wholesale or at retail, is well known because the unsold items go for recycling or burning due to their volume in a very short time. You can't hide them like happens with a small design studio. So again, the consumer is not involved up to here. No. Because we are asking the consumer to do this and that. But before asking the consumer, we need to consider this. So is there a third level of waste? Yes. And this is the consumer level, which is partly documented. Garments sold have a short life cycle, and they end up to community centers or other ways of recycling. So consumer responsibility comes as a result of price influence.
Well, I think at that lower market, it's well documented. That's and etc. I mean, these prices, there's no way that they can be made.
the result of this, Jenny and our friends, is that this has led to lack of availability of high quality products. There is no availability to buy something of good quality, even if you wanted to. There was a time, because I have been presenting in conferences all over the world since 2010, that I took pictures of celebrities and of well-known ladies in power, like Theresa May and Angela Merkel and all that, the garments they wore, and you could see from the way they stood, they could not move their arms, they could not, you could see all these things. I took them pictures and I presented them, and I was afraid they would tell me something, but then, and I said, these ladies do not lack money, do not lack the possibility of find something, but they couldn't find, although they want to. So that means that the quality of skills has dropped dramatically. So why does the consumer find it difficult to really recycle and do something about all this? Because they buy easily, and the garments are easily and cheaply designed. They are bought easily and cheaply, and they are thrown as easily. They are thrown away as easily. It's a circle that it's difficult to break. Yeah. So what can be done? Because we see that the industry also is completely design has failed its purpose. By trying to make the product for everybody cheaply, it achieves to make products for nobody almost. Only Apple has achieved that.
With their products.
With their products, because they have made something that can be individualized. There is the possibility that we can do the same thing in clothing. But because what happens now is, but by a pretense of inclusivity, everything for everybody, make it everything similar, it denies us all the right of exclusivity, having it for me. And this is the challenge nowadays for any product. When referring, of course, for garments, it becomes more even personal, and it is perceived to be difficult, but it is not. So the question is here, is there a solution to avoid all this unnecessary waste? We believe there is. So let's see the focus shift. Wouldn't we like to have this fit effect in minutes for each person, mainly with correct tools and skills? Because it's the tools and the skills. So we can see here we have the same garment, a vest, that can be worn by anybody with different measurements. This is the technical drawing of all this. And it can look beautiful to each one of them, even in these various shapes. And this can happen. Again, so we need to consider shapes as opposed to sizes only. And the missing link is to learn to create with satisfaction, not as a difficult task that we fear to do, like what happens with designers nowadays. We need to cultivate that. We have an example here of Alice's work.
I remember Alice very well.
Yeah. So we have these four, how many they are? There are 2, 4, 6 ladies. They attended a short course of a couple of days, and they asked themselves to be photographed because they didn't believe that they could wear their own personal calico that fitted them in their completely different shapes. So, I have an example, what needed to be done. This is how the coat should be to help transfer design details to pattern. And that's what we want to offer. You see, we have the design technically. This is the first on the right. We have the mistake. And on the right here of the creator, we have the illustration, the design. Then on the left, we have the technical design of it, which is accurate. And what allows us to do, we have the right figure, the figure who is going to wear, or on our size table, because it can be ready-made and it can be personal, whatever. So this is the figure. And here, immediately, by drawing the design, it gives us the measurements that the pattern should be made. So design needs to have exact measurements visually defined for pattern translation. Something, you don't need that chart. All of these that you can see here may be included if it is correct in the chart we show and that you can never read. So, but here you can see it. You can make the pattern exactly like that.
Yeah, and if you look at that 10 centimeters, look,
Yeah, from the center.
Yeah, but it's the accuracy where you've
yeah,
got those
exactly.
red lines. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't make a mistake if you've got
No,
that so clear.
So there's no waste. Look here, the width that you have for the depth, which is going, if you have a pleat like this, is going to be 4 times. Yeah. So it's 7 by 4.
3 times.
4. No. This is the outside. This is the inside, the hidden one. So it's 1 and 1 and 1. So it's 4 times. This is the hidden, what's called, anyway, the pleat.
Yeah.
So the pleat needs to be, yes, 4 times. So by 7, it's 28. So you need 28. Those ladies didn't put anything that you saw in the
yeah.
You see?
Yeah,
so it's 28 inside and 21 outside. So, but this is, we just measure this and we calculate it by 4 times. So what happens? Big tech and big businesses stifle innovation, and that's what's recorded in 24 in New York in the Global Fashion Summit. It's not my saying. Only
you have been saying that, though.
You
have been saying it for a long
yes,
time.
Absolutely. I picked it because I believe in it. Only small companies have shown the wish and strength to change, but they need support to return to skills and the power of technology, because they need technology, but they need to have the skills to use them and technology to be friendly to them. So the Telestia promise, because that's what we do, is for fit solutions. Telestia Learning is a depository, a pool of knowledge and skills in a unique awarded application of multimedia and pedagogy. And then the Telestia Creator, a special CAD tool, is winner in practice and research with a unique design language. And that's not just saying. In 2021, there was a research of the North Carolina State University for participants with the fit perception of customized garment. It was put to students and to public. And they, of course, there were 2 computer companies, software companies that were dealing with what to do also. And of course, Telestia came first, and it was blind because they didn't know what they were selecting. So Telestia Learning, Telestia Creator are the masters of prototype. You can have your prototype and sleep well. So is this easy to learn and apply? Yes, it is easy, quick, and successful. And you can witness that in the following presentation, very quick presentation of how it happens.
Put that there.
Yeah.
Because they're banking.
Sorry, they're banking. You're right. And it's annoying. So let me go to the, that's outside, and I'll open up the other one. I need to stop sharing this. And open.
Can I just say,
of course,
with us today, there is a student of Fashion Express in Germany who's studying in the apparel product development course and has recently got a new job a few months ago, Amina. She comes from Serbia, she's with us, and she's actually using this methodology in her job. I think it was a breakthrough for her in her company. Her colleagues were asking her, Amina, I don't know if you can.
Would you like to say something? Yeah.
Amina, you have to switch on your microphone.
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, I'm dropped. Do you hear me? I don't know.
We can hear you. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. It was surprising how easy it is to use my program, and I'm still using it. Then another that they are using. It was like obviously easier, and I'm still using everything on a learning platform. I'm always coming back and like on that technical drawings and everything. And it is like so helpful because I was starting with that. I don't have enough knowledge, but I was like picking really quickly everything. It was not that much.
Thank you.
So I don't know how to explain. It was really like clicking.
Yeah.
Everything was like, yes, there is something missing, and it was really like so easy.
Thank you, Anita. I will show it now, and you can say when everybody sees what. So this is a treatise on human shape variation and design communication. So we need to recognize and accept it and respect the human body. So we need working on the body helps understand size and fit. This is something that designers don't do, unfortunately, globally. That's a pity. So
Anastasia, are you sharing your screen?
Sorry. I'm not sharing, and thank you for reminding. I thought I did it. No, I need to exit and sharing the screen. Where are we now? Zooming here. We need to go there. Thank you for reminding. I go here.
Yeah.
Okay, and share this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Just reduce that down.
Take this there, and that's now. Why shouldn't it do? It doesn't open. Anyway, you'll have to do it this way. So let me go to the design, technical design process. This is what we would like to show you today. All this that creates the problem is solved by understanding this technical design process that connects body, style, and idea in 10 steps. So let me go to the next one. This here we have this, the body, we have the idea, first of all. This is the idea of what you're going to make, a jacket. We have the body here, whose measurements are these. I don't know, they're very small, but you can see, but it's exactly the measurements of a specific size table or lady or whatever. It's the measurements, or body scanner measurements, whatever. Here, you draw on the body this idea. You can see it and you draw it. And it gives you the exact details of the measurements.
Yeah.
It gives you this one. So you know that this is 3 centimeters, this is 4, this is in 11.9. You know this is going to be transferred on the pattern. It's not trying, it's there. It's like you have the fit.
Yeah.
It is simple and accurate. The same here. So after you have done this, we put the fabric on and we can see it on the person. We say it's okay, but there is something we don't like and we would like to change it. So we come to the second trial without sending by DHL, without making the garment, without all of this waste. And so we try and make another. So we make this one, which has minor changes. It has a small change around the neck and in the front. So let's try our hand without wasting our time. And we start drawing it again. It is a little bit different than the previous one. And you have here your measurements with a small change, but a change that works.
And it's got all the tolerances, hasn't it? It's really
that is in the basic block.
Everything is in there.
That is the basic block, which you will see soon. This is, in this case, it is the person and the style. It is me. You fit me. You fit you. You fit anybody you want. So we have that, and then we put again, and we see it and we like it because it is a little wider around the neck as we want it, and it is exactly what we need. And now comes the pattern, which has all the allowances. It is the basic block for the specific measurements, for the specific size. So you can't be wrong. You work and you transfer the design details you have next to you on the pattern, which is a game for the designer, and something absolutely correct.
And balance.
Absolutely. All this is...
I see so many garments that have got the wrong balance.
That's why I'm afraid of all this pulling thing with the previous picture we showed, because if you don't go back here to have this and return to these lines, understand what the lines mean and respect them, and when you put these numbers, know what you're doing, then you are destroying everything. This is where the waste comes between this design here and this point here and the pattern.
Yeah.
So then it's nothing difficult. This is correct. You mark and you do what you do, and you get up with your pattern pieces. And then things are easy. The next step is to match these pattern pieces where the assembly may make mistakes. I've seen them in retail already, in stores, where each part goes and all the information here, which is minor. So, this is something that I did for me very well. This is the garment. So, we strive for inclusion and diversity in almost everything, even in pets. What do we do in dressing to decently shape diversity and plan inclusion? Do we care to consider people as well in their vast diversity? Where is this here? There needs to be new retail and new design approach and new business model. It is easy to make. I mean, we need to change the marketing. We need to change the design approach. Profitable customization or at scale demand can only be driven by personalization and personalized design that is not, how shall I say it? You don't make it for one, but you can make a plan for a wide range of customers that you have on a size table that you can easily create if you know what you're doing. It's very simple. And all this waste and loss of companies, because they are having loss at the moment, many of them, apart from the big ones, can be wiped out. So prepare for made to me in a clever scale. Need to understand body shape and variable realistic size tables. Information exists. And another thing, there's no need to get lost in your researches, because there are researchers and researchers. You don't
So
need,
much money has been wasted.
absolutely, and it can be used.
No.
I mean, what is necessary is what to do. Invest in people. Get and give training. With Celestial Learning and the Creator, it is easy, quick, and effective. So teachers, designers, pattern technologists, and students train people to understand the language of holistic design. Design is compartmental now, and no communication between the compartments. It needs to be holistic. So help them enjoy the satisfaction of creation and train consumers to enjoy their clothes and want more. I can give you some examples of, let me go out very shortly and quickly. I don't know how to close this now. I'll find a way. I'll stop sharing. And in the meantime, while I'm closing this, we can talk and I'll take it out. That's it. And then you can see things in action. And I need to share. Sure. No, and so let me share my screen and have this, open this. And it will appear, I hope. Somehow it must appear to share it. Why doesn't it appear?
There, you have to press it again, that's it.
Can you see it? Yes, okay. Yes, you can see it. So here there is, it has gone, I need to go back.
Go back.
No, I can't go back. You need to
There, look, there. Here, look. No, here, look. There.
Ah, okay, great, thank you. Thank you, thank you.
I'm your little helper.
Oh, thank you. So we need to go to one. I think I'll end it and start it again, because it needs to, what is that? Well,
There.
okay, so this is from the Center of Clothing Technology and Fashion at the Institute of Business Excellence in Malaysia. And I think we have Zada with us today, an excellent person who appreciated what we are doing, and she's spreading it in Malaysia. She's done this marvelous
I'm here,
thing.
Anastasia.
Yeah.
How are
Hi,
you?
dear Zada. Hi, I'm good, and you see what we are doing all the time.
I've been believing in your system for many years.
I know.
Till
Thank
today.
you. She has promoted it in Saudi Arabia, in Indonesia, all over the world. So, so you can see here, these are the Celestia Center and the creators there. So assembly information. They're working. You see all these people, they're working with loving what they're doing. They love it. They understand it.
So down here. Okay. No, use you there.
I must use that. Yes, yes, okay.
There's Alice again.
Yes, no, that's in Greece. It goes back. There must be another one on the other side that is
There's Alice.
Yes, that's Alice. That's in her weekly things. And here, that's for Alice also. And that's studio evidence, work in progress. This is in the Rijksmuseum. So they have done it, Alice, with her people, because they were amazed at what they were doing. They were invited by the Rijksmuseum in Holland. And again, so.
We've got 11. I saw 11 questions in chat.
Okay.
So shall we?
Of course, we can answer them.
Chat?
Yes. Can you find them and answer them?
Right. Let's go on to chat. Right.
Some of them would be when the time that we broke. Let me. So enough, not only one. We can hear you again. Can we hear a blue?
The session has been recorded.
Boils down to poor quality, decent pattern in the first place. That's what you're saying.
Absolutely. I mean, it's that first pattern, isn't it? You've got to aim to get it right first time.
Yes, that's the most important. And we are making it easy to get to the first pattern by matching it with the technical design. This is the important thing that we are introducing now, although we have been working for a long time. So is there any questions now? Because these are technical questions most of the time.
I think some of them saying that they'd like to sit.
I'm not seeing, I'm a fashion student from the UK.
If you go further down,
You couldn't really see through the last few slides. Could we see them again? Yes, of course. I would like to share again.
Or has anybody got any specific questions that they would like to ask now and just sort of go online?
Yes.
I mean, Anastasia really does travel around the world with her Celestia and e-learning.
So I need to open it again and start sharing. But could you tell me whether you can see it? Can you see it? No.
No, I don't think you shared.
There is a question that says, what do you mean by emotional durability?
Yes, of course. Emotional durability is to like what you wear and want to take good care of it. I mean, you're satisfied with your product, whereas the other way around, you just want to throw it away. And there's a continuous throwing away of something that you don't like. You just bought it because that's what you could find. So I think
it's that longevity of the garment.
Yes, it gives longevity and I mean, that was one of the conclusions of wrap and scap. You are aware of those two. They are not mine. I mean, most of them they're there are various steps of making things, just understanding what you have.
I think also emotional durability is when you have this one garment that maybe did not have this passionate emotion in the beginning, but the more you wear it, the more you always feel nice in it. You feel seen, you know, it feels good over your body, and you feel people make you compliments whenever you wear it. I think this is also part of the emotional durability.
Yeah. It's. I mean, you like what you wear. You feel comfortable in it. It's not here. Some examples of enthusiastic creativity on Celestia. What evidence should the fashion course or design method
Anastasia,
show?
I think you're sharing the wrong screen. We're just seeing the Zoom.
But I have stopped there and share it again. Sorry. How can I make it?
I think somebody else is sharing the screen, which I think can it be that I cannot read the user? Could it be Lana? I'm
The
not
thing
sure.
is that this is automatic and I can't bring it. If I open it, I can't then share. I can't have
No,
both.
but I think the person who is running the Zoom should exit the current sharing of the screen, which is by mistake, I think.
Is that Beth? Beth's online. I don't think she... Are you sharing the screen, Beth? I don't think she is. You try again.
I try, but how can I share now? When I'm here, I can't share. You see what happens?
Well, we have recorded this, so please don't worry. We've got these PowerPoints,
Yeah.
and we've all got your email addresses, so you can actually send these,
Yes,
can't
yes,
you?
yes, you can.
So we will agree to send these PowerPoints to you
Yeah.
from Anastasia, 'cause
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
her
yeah.
property. So
Oh, I
do not-
see Ilana is here as well from Israel. Hello, Ilana. Are you with us? So anyway, I'm very glad and thank you, all of you that had the patience to attend and hear all this. And we would like to hear your feedback.
Yes, I mean, but by all means, you know where we are as well, Fashion Enter. We're based in Haringey, in Islington and Leicester. We are here to support, but I do, really acknowledge the expertise
Thank
of
you.
you, Anastasia.
And-
you have decades of experience in fit master patterns.
And I would like to
construction.
thank Jenny for the courage. Not really many. We had the courage to really put forward this thing.
We can only try, can't we? You've got to give it what you can.
Thank you very much. We lost Paul somehow. I don't know if he couldn't really get.
No, I don't know. No, Paul's not on there, is he?
Yeah, maybe. Okay.
Never mind.
Okay. Thank you very much. Are you finished?
Well, it's actually just gone on 2:30, but
Yeah.
if there are any burning
Yes.
questions from anybody, please do ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
We'd love to support. That's a really nice comment. I'm glad you got something out of this without any technical. I'd love to.
How you?
Yes.
Yes.
Anastasia will contact you directly.
The lady asks, and let's share that. That she's
Yeah.
a brand owner without any technical knowledge, but do all my designing in-house. How can I benefit from it, Anastasia? I'd like to fix my. Well, we have online courses, not so long. You don't need years or whatever.
And they're easy to
Very,
comprehend.
very easy online. You don't have. You can visit the Fashion Enter. We can arrange that how it can be done, but. Most of it can be online so that you can save a lot of time and in a few months be able to do sizing, blocks, everything.
What I would say as well is please choose your manufacturer wisely. You want somebody that will work with you. You don't
Absolutely.
want excuses like anyone that's like, so well, it's your pattern, it's your grading. Our aim is to really eliminate waste, and I can actually see Islington Council is actually online, and we do a fantastic repair class every 2 weeks, and it's thanks to Powell that we're able to do that. So thank you for being online today. Good to see you.
Yeah. I mean, those were good. So I don't know if you can keep these comments. They are very good.
Yes, they are.
Yes. And thank you very much, all. And maybe if you're interested, you can have more.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. We had 28 people join, and actually 26 of you actually came on. So that is really good.
Yeah.
Because normally you have 50% dropout. So thank you everybody for joining. Really wish you all the very, very, very best with your brand. And remember, our experts here to support you.
I thank the people in Fashion and all of you supporting all this, all of you.
There you
Bye.
go.
Bye-bye.
Good luck, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Yeah, great.